My goal is to try to get people who can't understand where we're coming from, where you see what's going on in the world right now.
I panicked a little bit.
Hey man, bring back the old days.
I was always ready to go. Anytime you show up to the party with this, it better be drinkable.
Oh, there's that cinnamon.
And yo, what up?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Men and Means podcast. Back again.
Yeah, man. Here we are, as always, once a week.
And we got the sky is just filled with smoke.
Yeah, man.
This garage.
Yeah, if you're not living in California right now, man, this shit it's pretty intense. Pictures like San Francisco, the sky is totally orange. And you know what, man? It's funny. I went to the gym the other day, and it's all outside. It's all outdoor now, anyway, right? One of my boys is like, I'm not going. Look at this air quality. I was like, well, the weed out the weak. You know what I mean? Let's get rid of you. And that's right, guys. Yeah, I go to the gym.
He's back on it.
He's back on it. If you guys heard the previous episodes, I was turned away from skydiving because I was obese, and so now here I am.
He was 4 pounds over the limit.
Yeah, and that was hard to hear. So I'm working hard on it. But my boy was like, "Yo, man, you ever think like this is a perfect opportunity for people with dandruff?" And I was like, "Yes, it is, dude. It really is." Welcome back outside, everybody. You know what I mean? You good to go.
I felt better.
Yeah, I use the Head and Shoulders, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we're Californians, so like we're used to wildfires. We're used to fire season.
Yeah.
We got that here in California.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't like when I'm hanging out, like if I'm walking in the ash or whatever, I don't really see it on you. So like I don't think I'm breathing this shit, and I don't think it's falling on me. I don't even think about it.
You know what's okay? Like
my car,
when I see my car, I'm like,
yeah.
damn, yeah, look at that. And then today, so yesterday was probably the worst, right? Like it was literally, I mean, it's Southern California. We don't see snow, but I was like, man, this is like California snow. It's just ash falling out of the sky, you know? And then today, going to work, man, you look on the ground, and I mean, there's piles and piles of ash all over the place. And I'm like, damn, that's insane. But then when you look at the amount of acres that this thing has burned, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's just floating around out there.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad right now.
Yeah, there goes the ozone.
We need a break. Like,
apparently, yeah.
You know, like we need a break.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
It's fire season though, so it's expected. Like I said.
Yeah. It's just this. You know, other states got tornadoes and hurricanes. Man, we got fires and earthquakes. You know what I mean? That's our bread and butter, if you would.
Yeah, and we don't live in any hills. We're not the hill type. And in California, if you live in the hills, usually with money.
Oh yeah.
So like we get the ash.
We're about as far away from that as you can be.
They get the danger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it typically goes in California for us.
Yeah, both earthquakes and fires, man.
Earthquakes and fires, yeah.
Yeah, that's just part of the way it goes, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the earthquakes though.
Hey, you know what? I'm used to them. I'll sleep right through one.
I just don't want a big one.
I was standing at my parents' house, man, and one hits, dude. And I mean, it's rattling. I know we're on the second floor, and it's rattling hard. I remember, like, I wake up, and I'm trying to get out of bed, but, like, it happened so fast, my legs weren't awake yet. And I hit the ground, and I get up, and I just fall hard. My stepmom comes out, and she's like, did you feel that? And I'm, like, trying to get up off the ground and shit. And she's, like, laughing at me. And I was like, man, that was rude. I was scared.
Yeah, and, I have a fear of earthquakes, but the idea that an earthquake could be so bad that you can't stand scares the shit out of me a little bit. Because in my mind, I'm thinking run. But but my girl, she went to school for this kind of shit, geology, and she was saying, like, I pulled out, like, okay, what about China? They couldn't stand. And she's like, no, their plates hit against each other.
So they didn't, like, go up.
Ours rub against each other. So we got rolling earthquakes, and that's what we seen at Anthony's house that one day when everything was just going.
Oh, yeah. Forget about that.
Yeah, and I remember one time I was sitting in an office building, and I remember seeing the windows.
Yeah, that's the crib.
And I remember, like, oh, shit. Like, so we have different kind of earthquakes here, but they still scare me. But we are used to earthquakes and fires in California. This is what it is.
Yeah. Earthquakes cause tsunamis and all that shit, Japan and all that.
Yeah, they're just, the plates are just
moving
banging against each other.
Just cause a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is obviously not a science lesson, so we're gonna go
ahead and get into what we know, and that's whiskey time. And we're gonna get in the fucking pocket.
It's time for us to get back in the pocket.
We're getting in the pocket, guys. Get in the pocket with us.
And this week, man, we got a Buffalo Trace. So if you remember last week, we had that Eagle Rare, which is made from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. This is their just a Buffalo Trace Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Back on the bourbon train.
We've been on a bourbon trend. We're Americans, dude. We're patriots.
We come back to what we're used to. Me and Ken have self-proclaimed Scotch guys.
Yeah,
and we are just riding that. But we are putting ourselves out there for the bourbon type,
right. And to be fair, these are much cheaper.
And it's just we can't ignore that type of liquor.
Man,
I think early on we tried to a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think we were trying to get into things, right? So I'm just like, well, you gotta have some class, and I wouldn't say that going bourbon is not having class,
right?
But
they all hit differently.
And so we'll just talk about a little bit of the presentation here with the Buffalo Trace, man. We got a nice buffalo here, right on the bottle. The bottle's anal bead shaped at the top. So go ahead and.
Is it a shipwreck bottle?
Yeah, you call it what you want.
We'll call it a shipwreck bottle.
I'm calling it the anal bead.
Anal bead bottle.
Anal plug.
Anal plug bottle.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace, nice little graphic though.
I like man, buffaloes are cool. I went to Yellowstone National Park, saw a few buffaloes up there.
I will give them credit for this like just the graphics on here.
Yeah, it looks like it was like torn and slapped on.
Yeah, they got it's not connected at all. So you got the lettering, which is separate than the actual graphic of the buffalo. It's
I'm
cool.
not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that.
It's not a bad looking bottle.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking bottle at all.
I was jumping in this bottle here cost me $19.95. That was at your local Albertsons.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I was like, well, bourbons are much cheaper. At least the ones that I've purchased. I'm sure they get a little more pricey, but yeah, this one didn't hit the pocket too hard.
And this is 45%.
Yeah, it was a little bit above your typical everyday.
So it hits.
Run of the mill. We gotta start paying attention to these things.
Right? Growing up, I dealt with vodka and tequila, and they're usually sit around 40.
Yeah.
But when you get into the whiskey game, be careful, guys. If you're just getting into it, they're a little bit stronger. This one's 45. I wouldn't expect it to be 45, but it is.
Man, I don't know if you guys. I watch these videos on YouTube, man, from the Whiskey Tribe, man, and they kind of get into a little bit about how the percentage gets higher and different kinds that have higher alcohol content. So if you guys are interested in get a little more detail on whiskey, man, go ahead and check out the Whiskey Tribe, man, right there on YouTube, man. They're little interesting kind of guys, but I'm not mad at them. You know what I mean? I'll give them a little love. I'll give them a little shout out right there.
Go check out their YouTube, but first go check out our YouTube, and make sure you guys are following, subscribing, leaving some comments. We got a few comments lately, I think.
Like one said, Ken. Hey, shout out to you. That's a Cerise, man. Good looking out on that.
Yeah,
that was cool. I saw it. I liked it. That was all I could really do. I'm not a big I'm gonna reply back on a YouTube comment. It's kind of like when you leave a Yelp review, they start writing you back.
Yeah, I run the YouTube, so so he had trouble getting access to respond to that. I guess from in a private manner. I guess I don't even know if you can DM on a YouTube.
I don't know, man.
And Ken runs the social media. He runs the Instagram.
So if you write a message to anyone else,
if you want to hit me up,
just know I'm gonna have to be like, hey man, you got a message.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. And I to my defense, I did let him know, and he did go like the comment.
I did like the comment.
So we're not just disregarding them at all. So,
but maybe go follow our Instagram, and then you could write me a message there, and then we can have a conversation. There's the thought. You know what I mean?
YouTube, go to the Instagram, go do all that. But
but back to Buffalo Trace. So presentation's cool, man. We're not mad at it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the breathability of that. Get the nose going here.
Hello. And how are you? That's smooth.
It smells. Yeah, it does.
It's a smooth bourbon. Honestly, it is.
It smells sweet, like honey.
There's a sweet smell there. Did you look this one up too?
No. Literally, I'm just saying. I think it smells like honey.
Oh yeah, it's very smooth.
Yeah,
I like the way this smells. It's a very good aroma.
Yeah, it's not tough to smell it. I'll be honest with you guys, man. I've actually had this before. I got pretty trashed. I drank like half a bottle of this shit by myself one day. You know what I mean? But it was pretty easy to drink and I didn't mind it. So I just kept kind of going in, you know what I mean? And that was what happened. But no, on the nose, man, it's very inviting.
Very pleasant.
Yeah, I was going to say pleasant, inviting. Doors wide open, you know what I mean? Lights are on, come on in.
Yeah, and it's not one of those ones that you have to smell multiple times. To get easier and easier.
But you don't mind smelling it multiple times.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't need to smell it multiple times to get, less harshness. It just has a real smooth smell to it. It's actually one of the highest breathabilities I've remembered in a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that, man. I definitely don't mind that smell. Like I said, I get a little bit of honey smell there.
It's nice color too.
It is, yeah.
It's a very nice color for a bourbon.
Honey colored maple syrup,
Yeah.
Canadian. If I had to go,
style.
yeah, probably from Quebec, 1942. Well, 1942 is Don Julio, is it not? That's where I went to. All right, so let's get palate this bad boy, right? Let's see what's up. See what the buffalo is doing.
Cheers.
Here we are. Very easy to drink.
Oh, that's smooth.
You get a little spice there.
You know, last week we had the
Eagle Rare,
and you could taste the fruit in this. I'm not tasting any fruit in this.
No, I agree.
But it actually is a very smooth whiskey. Like it just, but yeah, a little sweet. I'm tasting a little sweet. I can't really pinpoint the fruit though.
It definitely is fairly sweet to me. But not, like with the last one we were like, oh, it's cherry. You know what I mean? You could taste the cherry or vanilla. I think we were saying, if I'm not mistaken.
No cherry.
I think I said cherry vanilla, but whatever.
Yeah.
Rewind the tape. Anyway,
you might have said cherry vanilla.
I don't know. You guys probably disagreed. Anyway, though, no, but this one is very easy to palate. I'd say this is probably a good starter whiskey here, if I'm being honest. I think, hey, you just price point, the smell, the taste, everything's kind of adding up to like, hey, you're just trying to, you don't really like whiskey. Maybe you want to give it a try. Maybe you don't know if you like it. This one's not bad at all, in my opinion. This is a good starting point. It's definitely not the greatest tasting one I've ever had. It's not, it's right. I think you usually say middle of the road, but this one's like very easygoing, if you would. This is your,
it's a great introductory bourbon.
Yeah,
like if this
especially
is the route,
for bourbon.
Yeah, if this is the route you're going, and you want to go get a real good price bottle and ease yourself into the whiskey game. Don't get the Jack Daniels.
Well, what I was gonna say. That's what I want to say is like it's interesting that we in America at least, where at my area, everyone jumps to Jack Daniels, and I think it's just a familiarity. Oh man, that was
familiarity.
Tough to, yeah, there you go. Don't be correcting me, dude. But you know what I mean? I think more people just know the name. You've seen it. You know it. It's easy to order. Everywhere has it. However, this, to me, is miles ahead of that. You know what I mean? This is a much better drink, much smoother. About the same price. It's interesting, man. The brand names really go a long way. And that's something to note right there.
Yeah, and I think beyond that, I think I really wouldn't pour a glass of Jack Daniels to sip on. This I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a Jack and Coke. You know what
I mean? Jack and Coke all day. Like that's why it's part of the iconic part of Jack Daniels. It's a Jack and Coke. It's like you go to the bar, you're already drunk, or you're trying to get drunk. Like give me a Jack and Coke. You don't really know much about whiskey, but I would pour a glass of this and sip on this. This is a decent bourbon. As
I said, I sipped all the way down to a half a bottle there. That was what I did. But yeah, man. So overall here, I think I'm gonna go and give it. Like I said, presentation. It's not the greatest. It's not, it's not gonna blow your mind, but it's not a bad looking bottle. Nosability's good, palate's good, price point's good. You know what? I think I'm gonna turn it up a little bit here. I'm gonna give it an 8. With all of those things considered, I'm gonna give it an 8 because of all of that. Because it's really affordable. I do think it is like an entry level kind of like, hey, you're just kind of jumping in here, but for where it's sitting and the market that it appeals to, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay, so you got an 8. You got an 8. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this a 6. I'm gonna give this a 6.5. Okay, I'm gonna give this 6.5 because
that made me look like an asshole.
No,
right?
I think you're pretty high in your rating, but that's not my decision. I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because first of all, it's not Jack Daniels, but for me, what I'm looking for personally is I'm looking for a little bit more flavor, like in terms of like even the barrel, like
Yeah.
a little more body to the liquor. It's smooth on the smell, it's smooth on the taste, but someone asked me the other day, they're like, well, when you drink whiskey, like what do you like? How do you drink it, and what are you looking for? Does it taste good to you? And I told them straight out, I was like, okay, your first beer tasted like shit. Most people's tasted like shit, right?
Coors Light,
but then you develop like you want certain things. So like you're a beer drinker, you want a little more bitterness, you want a little something. For me, I like a little bit more of the flavor of the cask.
The cask, yeah.
And for me, this is a great smell. It's a great smooth taste, but it lacks a little bit of flavor. So I can't give it that 7. Because if it had a little bit more of that flavor, I'd give it a 7.
Well, right. So this is something that I've seen on many lists, though, that were like, hey, you want an introduction to drinking whiskey, and I'm not mad at that. I think, and like I said, for where I think it's trying to be, I'm gonna give it an 8 in that world. Now, I mean, to be fair though, if we're comparing this to your Macallan's, your Highland Park Ice editions, those kind of vibes, yeah, no, I wouldn't put it there, but I think for what it is, this is a good bang for your buck, if you would.
And it is. I highly recommend if you are trying to get into bourbons or whiskey and you want something that's not bottom shelf, but kind of.
Hey, speaking of that, whoever goes in this, like, you got to be an alcoholic if you're buying bottom shelf shit, man.
No, I think there's people out there that want like a fucking a whiskey bottle. Like,
no.
Okay, have you ever had a pickleback?
Yeah.
I've never had one. And why? I refuse to drink whiskey and pickle juice. That's just me.
But I think you chase it with pickle juice, right?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I refuse to do that.
Well, yeah, I've had it only because someone was like, "Oh my god."
Of course,
yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is like, people want people want an easy whiskey, right? That's what they want.
Yeah.
So like, sometimes if you can find a good deal for an easy whiskey, like think about it, Dewar's. It's
not bottom shelf, bro.
It's not bottom shelf, but it's smooth.
Yeah.
So when I recommend it, it's a smooth whiskey.
Fair.
Oh, you're not really familiar with whiskeys? Pick up a Dewar's.
It's a good one to start with.
Any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, either one.
So like Buffalo Trace, for people who want a smooth bottom shelf, close to it whiskey, highly recommend.
Right.
Straight out.
You know what, too? I would say like Evan Williams probably resides on the bottom shelf. But to me, it tastes just like Jack Daniels. It's pretty much the same shit.
And I drink Jim Beam.
But that's not bottom shelf.
It is bottom shelf.
No. I'm talking about like the grocery store bottom shelf. Like you walk in there, you see that like you're like, this is the Albertsons brand whiskey. I don't want that shit.
Go see where Jim Beam's sitting. It's next to Jack Daniels.
Which ain't on the bottom shelf, man. It's mid shelf.
Yeah, but that's marketing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's store placement.
Again, brand names are something else, man.
It is something else. But
I seen like Glenfiddich on the bottom. Because the name ain't there. And so they're like, oh, I don't know. The people that are looking for it will find it.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone recommended me Glenfiddich, and I was happy that they did because it was a good introductory to some good shit.
Yeah, we've had it here twice.
No, Glenlivet. Glenfiddich is another one.
I thought we had Glenfiddich.
We had no Glenfiddich. We had double Glenlivet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right. Glenfiddich is not bad.
Glenfiddich is not bad at all.
Yeah,
they're respectable.
Yeah.
But overall, that takes us to a 7.25 for whiskey time, guys.
7 and a quarter.
Go grab a bottle. It's cheap enough. Go try it. And let us know what you think. Let us know your rating, if you love it, if you don't love it. But the whole point of us reviewing whiskeys is for you to get out there and try some shit.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine post a whiskey the other day, and I was talking to her, and I was like, "Hey, what the hell is that?" And you know what I got to do? I got to hit her up and ask, because it was one of them like obscure ones you don't see every day. And I got to find out where that was at. And I was like, well, I'll let you know what I think if you want. She was like, yeah, I'm not a jerk, dude. Let me know what you think. And I was like, oh, all right. Cool.
Yeah, I have a friend too, and he threw out some weird name. I was like, what? What do you, like, what language is that? And he's like, I got to get you guys a bottle. He's like, it's the best shit I ever tasted. I'm like,
get us a bottle.
Yes.
You know, that's what I'm going to say. Like, hey, man, shoot me a bottle.
Plus, guys, for you guys who are listening, can we get a couple recommendations?
Yeah.
Like we stopped asking for them.
Yeah. But this is probably we had a lot for a while.
We did have a lot for a while.
Through them all.
But throw them back our way. throw them back our way. We're looking for a couple recommendations. Maybe some of them that we didn't expect. Maybe we never heard of.
Yeah.
Throw us some shit,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll get into it. Because honestly, we've been on the bourbon train for a little while.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to get off the beaten path.
Maybe you just want to hear what we think about one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let us know.
Let us know your favorite one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let us rate it.
So go ahead and leave some comments right there on the YouTube. I won't get back to you. James might. If you leave them on Instagram, I'll get back to you. James will not. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But somebody will.
And if you know us personally, just stop us.
Yeah, just send me a text. You know what I mean? It's all love.
And again, we support full sponsorship. So if you want to just buy it,
Yeah, I haven't had a sponsor. Hey, this shit it's getting pricey. You know, that's why I'm down to Buffalo Trace, $19.95 a bottle. I was like, shit, man, I can't keep doing this.
yeah. If anybody knows how to do a LLC filing,
Yeah.
so we can write this shit off,
Yeah,
hit us
that'd be
up,
fucking
please.
terrific.
If anybody's business savvy out
Again,
there,
we've lost Anthony. That was our
Anthony-
finance man.
he's missing. We
Yeah.
we still don't know where he's at, guys. But he was our business guy. He was our finance guy. So if you guys have any information on how to start this shit and get it going, hit us up.
Yeah, let us know.
Hit us up. We'll bring you on here. We'll school everybody else.
Yeah. No, we probably won't. We'll keep that in the loop. You
Yeah.
guys figure it out on your own. You know, no, you're not in the loop. You're not in the network, man. Can't give you this info. I'll charge you a comment. Alright. Anyway, man, so that's going to conclude whiskey time. As you said, 7.25 coming in hot there. That's not a bad rating, man. That's pretty damn respectable in my opinion. It's a C. I wouldn't be happy if I got it, but I'm not I hate on it.
This bourbon rated high, and that's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And right now, it's me and Ken.
Yeah.
It's the men of means, baby.
Hey, you know what's
So
funny today,
we
man?
just
We were
subtracted
walking.
one.
We were walking, and somebody walked up to us today and was like, "Well, stop. Let's let the men of means pass." And I was like, "Man, that was the coolest shit I've ever seen."
Yeah, that was the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So that was cool because
That
we are the
was
men of
cool.
means. So get the fuck out the way. You know what I mean? We're coming through. Anyway, man. So what we jumping into next, sir?
So with the whole fire thing going on right now, it was brought to my attention that it was due to a gender reveal.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
so, like,
That's right.
The last I checked, it was 70,000 acres burned, just burned. And first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to the firefighters and the volunteers and the people donating money, because
Yeah,
California and
Oregon.
Oregon's on fire.
Yeah, that's
Like
some shit,
straight
man.
out, like it's on fire. So I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's involved. I got family that are firefighters, that are working their ass off. And there's one, like, natural disasters are one thing, but fires are also one of those things.
Well, fires from a gender reveal.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I just want, like, when it came to my mind, like, gender reveal. Okay, cool. What does that mean? Gender reveal. Okay, you reveal the sex of your child. Cool.
It's like blue smoke, pink smoke.
Right. Like you had something, right? But what I will, my whole point is, like, I just want to make sure that everybody understands what it's like to have a child. Like,
I can't relate, sir. You want to elaborate?
yeah. So what I will say is that, okay, you have a baby shower. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Got it. Been to those.
Let's celebrate that. Cool. And then you got these gender reveal parties.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, cool.
You're asking a lot.
You're asking more,
Yeah,
right? There's
you
more
know?
there. But then it's like, okay, you got gender reveal parties. Now you got this whole fucking, like, natural disaster shit.
Yeah.
Not even natural, just disaster shit. And I just want to make sure that everybody, like, just remember what you're doing. Remember, you're having a child. So everybody out there who wants to have gender reveal parties, cool. I didn't grow up with them. So here's my thought on
It's
it.
a new thing.
It's a new thing, but here's my thought on it. Put the energy into something else. Like, just stop. Just slow it down a little bit. Do something a little different. Whatever you want to do. But I will say that you plan these parties and you put all this energy in. And it was funny because I'm thinking, like, okay, cool. You do all this, and then what happens? Like, are you a good parent? Like,
Well, yeah.
you got to keep that shit going. So my point is, like, if you're gonna do all this, just make sure you're fucking doing everything else, right? It's not just about gender reveal parties, because I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I don't want to say this is only specific to white people,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
because it's not.
Uh-oh.
Because it's not. But I think their origination,
I've seen a lot of other people doing it too.
it's caught on.
It's a hot thing.
It's caught on, but I'm from the train of thought like you should find out at birth.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna say this. Like, and if you want to find out ahead, great. I just, man, and I'm a dude that loves to party. My name is Ken, and I'm here, and I party. You know what I mean? That's a shout out to Hot Rod right there. That's what I do. But but that said, man, do I need a whole party for that? Probably fucking not. I could probably get away with it and just, it's cool, man. I'm very much in the train of thought too of just kind of keeping things intimate. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the only reason why I would want to know ahead of what I'm thinking, so I would want to know kind of like what kind of shit I need to get. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess this.
I feel like they squeeze the gender reveal party in before the baby shower so they can get the right shit. But just, do you need that?
Yeah. A lot of the time, man, and even if you did. Do we need to shoot grenades off and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
can we just get the powder? I think Anthony had a gender reveal party.
Yeah, he probably did.
But I guarantee you, it had nothing to do with fucking any kind of flame.
I mean, look, I'm just saying.
He had a golf ball. I think he had a golf ball.
Yeah, it sounds like an Anthony thing.
He had a golf ball, and it was like he hit that 100%. Shit. I wasn't invited. But
I haven't been invited to one thing, not the wedding, not any. I got invited to a birthday party once. And then an earthquake happened.
Yeah,
that's probably why they don't invite me anymore. But no, man, I just think, it's cool. Fuck it, man. People are gonna do what they want. I'm not gonna hate on you if you did it or you want to do it. I get it. Again, I'm down for the party, but let's just do shit responsible. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not even going to say like I don't think there was no malice intent. You know what I mean?
At all.
There was none. So and I wonder like, have they been fined for this shit? Or like, that's the question.
They have to be fined.
But is that fucking reasonable? I don't think it's reasonable to fine them. Whatever they had was legal.
I'm just saying if you fine me, you ain't going to get anything from me.
Well, I don't have shit to give you.
Right? So like the same way I would think for them, but for them, it's millions of dollars worth of time and energy spent.
Well, I mean, shit, dude. Look at everything that's going into it.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not gonna fault the people that did it. They didn't go into it thinking like, yeah, fuck it, we're willing to risk this to get this gender reveal.
Yeah, and again, it's not their fault. We're dealing with fires in Oregon. We're dealing with fires in California, Northern California, Southern California. It's just fire season.
Apparently, our president said it's because we don't rake the forest. We don't sweep up the forest, man.
We don't.
Yeah, well, who the fuck does? It's weird.
That's like cleaning the street, like brushing the street.
Yeah, I mean, we're sweet street sweepers, but whatever, dude.
Yeah, no, I used to have a crazy person who used to wash their street in front of their house, and we always just assumed they were crazy.
Yeah, I would too. What the fuck you doing, man? Who cares?
So we're not gonna be fucking raking no forest.
Yeah, we're not gonna rake the forest. Yeah. Fuck it, it's California, man. State of emergency right now. So yeah, all jokes aside, man. Like James said, big shout out to the firefighters and people out there really taking that on. It is unfortunate. You know what? I'll tell you this right now. If I was the family that would have shot that shit off, you would never know this was a gender reveal party. Nobody there would have said shit. We'd have shut the fuck up. Everybody would be like, "Oh my god, look what we've done. My god, what have we done?" I wouldn't have said nothing from there. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Nobody would say nothing. We tell amongst ourselves, like, this fucking guy started. Look what he did.
Remember every time we bring California down?
Yeah, dude. It'd be funny.
It'd be inside family joke.
Yeah, but no, especially like, yeah, if you were invited, like I said, Anthony had his. I didn't make the cut. I never do.
Hey, congratulations to the couple that had the kid or that are having the kid.
Yeah. Wow. What an expensive child already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
The
dude.
dad's like, I had to do jail time. Like,
I'm gonna be gone for a while, little guy. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I fucking have no idea.
Either or, man. So yeah, I guess for me, I'm against the gender reveal party. Like, I think I don't have a kid, which is interesting. You know what I mean? I have all these opinions, which is kind of shit that I do because what do I know? But I'm a little more close to home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to blow it up like that. I'll just do my thing. Like, hey, dad, my sister, people that I talk to. Like, yeah, I'm having a boy. Great. What happened to like just having a cigar? Like, oh, it's a boy. Let's smoke this thing. All right, day's over. bye, see you motherfuckers tomorrow. You know?
Yeah, and to be fair, I haven't heard of any kind of like catastrophe happening from these parties, so I don't want to shy away from you guys having them. I just let some balloons go.
Yeah, dude. And even then, it's
or
gonna hit some
powder.
electric lines and fucking start that shit up,
or some powder. You know,
LeBron
like you've seen
James
those
that
ones.
shit. Yeah, LeBron James
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And that's cool. It's California too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Another thing that's happened recently is we had a McDonald's collaboration with Travis Scott.
Travi.
So
it's lit.
It's lit.
Yeah.
And so like we're just talking about current events real quick. That's one of those ones where I'm not.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. I don't understand.
Look, hey, shout out to Travis Scott. I'm sure you got paid on that, man. I'd like to understand what it was, but I think dope you got paid. But there's no part of me at all that was like, oh my God, Travis Scott co-signed with McDonald's. I better go get a fucking quarter pound. Travis Scott quarter pounder now.
With lettuce. Quarter pounder with lettuce.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck, dude. I didn't like McDonald's before. I don't like it today. You know what I mean? I'm not going to. And you added some lettuce, dude, and barbecue sauce.
And
I don't care. Yeah. I'll pass, man. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know where we go? We go to In-N-Out.
We go to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because people are so impressionable nowadays. Especially
again, brand names.
Brand names, but not just that, like I don't know. I just feel like you're not revolutionizing the burger. Like it shouldn't be hyped up that bad.
It is what it is.
Like if you want to get a burger, cool. You want to collaborate with McDonald's, cool. But to have a hype, like what's the hype?
And why not make something new? You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, quarter pounder, I put a little slice of lettuce on there and a piece of bacon. And you know McDonald's bacon is shit. Okay.
And I say that because you can't revolutionize the burger. Like, what are you going to do to the burger?
Yeah, it's been done.
The craziest thing you can do is deconstruct the burger.
Yeah.
Or if you're like Ray, you add cold cheese. Like,
yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? Like, that was weird.
Cold cheese. I'm going to try it later.
I'm going to try it later, too. You know, but like, you can't really do too much with the burger. It's not significant.
It is. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's like, I was out with my friends yesterday, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know, like, did you see it? Let's go get the Travis Scott combo. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. The only thing McDonald's does well is fucking sausage McMuffins with egg and cheese. That's it.
Their breakfast and
but that's it.
Their coffee's pretty strong too.
Yeah, fuck it. It's too hot, dude. I can't drink this shit for 2 hours. All right, dude. Fucking, it's too hot. But you know, man, it's like they got the chicken McGriddle, and I mean, I was buying lunch for everybody at work one day. Actually, it was breakfast, and they're all like, well, I want the chicken McGriddle. And everyone's like, what? They make a chicken McGriddle? And I'm like, hey, look, dude, like, really? What's the hype, man? Like,
yeah, so I just don't think you can do anything, bring anything to the burger game, especially if you're going through McDonald's. Like, if he was working with a restaurant and that like some gourmet shit, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like, even like Ken said earlier, like on off air, like, you want to open a restaurant? Burger joint? Like, cool. Like, do that. But
I mean, you got like the donut burgers and shit like that. Which, hey, can we talk about that for a minute? You know, like I see the fair. You go to, I mean, LA County Fair to me, it's always been. You know what? We literally work across the street from the fucking fair, so it was kind of disappointing this year that they didn't have it going on. You know, that would have been cool, but you know, COVID fucking ruined that for everyone. But the point I'm making is, man, they have like burger donuts or donut burgers. Excuse me, I'm a little jumbled. You know, well, there's another concept. You know what I mean?
Someone heard you like, I'm starting a business.
Well, here it comes. Travis Scott's jumping on that one now. But I'm like, you know, okay, like at least do something out of the ordinary, man. This fool just was like, yeah, fuck it. You know what, McDonald's, I want you to pay me a shit ton of money. And this is where my respect comes in. Give me a fuck ton of money and just add some lettuce and put some bacon on it. It's like, if you already, what the fuck, man? You had the capabilities. You had all the materials. You know what I mean? You could have fucking, they probably have the burger already there, dude. It's on the menu already, probably.
Okay, but I want to ask this question. What kind of like if you were to come out with a burger with McDonald's, I'd be like, okay, cool, Ken, but McDonald's sucks. Like, can you imagine like a rapper, like a Kendrick Lamar, come out with a Kendrick Lamar meal? You know what I mean? Like the K-Dot special. Like, can you imagine that?
Not at McDonald's.
You know what I mean? Like,
but see, this is the difference too. Like, okay, you gotta see. Now we're gonna get into it.
Or do they like, or are they just like get your money?
Well, I think it's a money grab. I think McDonald's knows what they're doing. They know people are like, oh shit, let's do it. Like he collabs with Nike, and I'm like, okay, I can respect that.
That's one thing.
Yeah, no, I can respect that because it's a different shoe, and a lot of people do that, and that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not opposed to that. And it's like the same shoe that's already out. It's just a different colorway, but okay, fuck it, it's a different colorway.
The Nike signs backwards or something like that.
Some shit, whatever they do. But, the downside to that is now you got all these bots and all this shit over there buying all the shoes. No one can get them. And then now you got to buy them for $3,000 and they're $190.
Bro, McDonald's employees were reselling their shirts. Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
For $500 to $1,500 aftermarket.
Fuck it. Hey, if I work at McDonald's.
Can you imagine buying a McDonald's t-shirt promo?
No.
For $500, but
if I worked at McDonald's,
but all his rich white kid fans.
Yeah, well, I mean, too, people in other countries and shit. You know what I mean? Like my cousin used to resell shoes, and he would tell me too, man. It's like people in like the Middle East. You know what I mean? Like they buy a lot of this shit, but I mean, there's a lot of money over there, oil and shit, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, like we'll buy this shit. And I mean, I can imagine too, like it's not normally released there like that. There are Foot Lockers every corner, like we have, so harder to get, and they're down. And then I mean, the status that comes with things. There's a status that comes with things, man. And same in like Asian countries. You know what I mean? They fucking buy a lot of shoes too.
Yeah,
things of that nature. So I get it.
I can't hate on him for doing it. I just don't respect.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him for doing it at all.
Yeah,
I just see us as consumers are the reason why it exists. Like, so I don't blame him. Fuck it, dude. We're the consumers that are paying for it. That's on us.
Yeah, shout out to Travis Scott for making that move.
Yeah, no, hey, dude.
Decent move.
Somebody hit me up tomorrow, like, hey, man, we're starting a whiskey company, Ken. We want to offer you, $100 million, which I would be immediately, yes, I'll sign the fucking paper right now.
Yeah, so someone can hit me up from
It could be Jack
Taco.
Daniels.
No, someone can hit me up from Del Taco. I'm not really that Mexican. They hit me up from Del Taco, like, hey, you want to partner? I'm in.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck if I was. Like, yeah, I don't care. I'm in.
I'm gonna make a chicken taco.
I've talked
but
so
I want
much.
Lettuce.
I've talked so much shit about Jack Daniels, but if Jack Daniels is like, we're sick of you talking shit, we're gonna give you this. We want you to put drink it on every episode.
We're bringing you on board.
Yeah, and you guys will hear me, man. Jack Daniels is the greatest shit I've ever had. Did you know they had a fucking cinnamon one? Oh my god.
He would have a Jack Daniels hat,
yeah,
shirt,
fuck yeah,
tattoo.
Dude. You give me money, fuck yeah. I don't give a shit. The things. I saw something. I was watching Peaky Blinders. By the way, great fucking show.
The Peaky
but the
fucking
girl was
Blinders.
Like, yeah, Peaky fucking Blinders. You know what I mean? Oh man, Alan, dude, I miss fucking saying that shit to you. But anyway, the time they're like, one of the chicks was like, oh, I don't want to be a whore, and the dude was like, everyone's a whore. We just sell different things, different parts of us. And I was like, man, that's reality though. You know what I mean? Like, if you get like a laborer job, you sell your physical labor. If you're a fucking accountant, you sell your brain. You know what I mean? You sell your thinking power. You do these things. Everyone's a fucking whore, man, unless you're doing your own shit for you. And so, hey, shout out Travis Scott. He's doing some own shit for him.
It's lit.
Yeah, it's lit. You know what I mean?
What
else does he say?
That's it.
No, he says some other shit too. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. I feel like I sound like Usher now. And Lil Jon. Anyway, man, yeah, that's just our take on that. So these are the current events. Man, I remember being a kid. You'd be like, yeah, you got to write a report on current events. I'm like, oh, fuck is this? That's stupid. But, it's so relevant these days.
Now, how impressionable have you been in your past?
Give me a little background.
Well, because I'd imagine that kids nowadays are impressionable to the point where, like, they're gonna go to McDonald's. So McDonald's
Happy Meals. Ours were Happy Meals, dude.
McDonald's didn't buy Travis Scott. They bought his fans. Like,
well, that's the money. So that's where it's going.
That's the money. So, but take it outside of the Happy Meal. Yeah, back in the day used to make us happy. But what I will say is, like, how impressionable were you with life in general, things in general, like people in general? Like, what was it early on? Were you someone who was impressionable? Like that would be that?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I fuck, dude. I remember going school shopping, and then like my parents like, oh, we're gonna go to this is back in Ontario. Mills was a different Ontario Mills. So, we'd go there, and they're like, oh, yeah, you got to get jeans. I'm like, yeah, or, you know, pants. And I'm like, yeah, sure, all right. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go to the Bugle Boy store. And I'm like, man, I don't fucking want to wear this shit. You know what I mean? No, I want to go to the cool place. My boys all wearing cool Levi's, and they're like, nah, dog, you going to fucking Bugle Boy.
Bugle Boy for life.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Like, I look at that now and I think about it, and I still don't want to wear that shit, dude. Nah, I'm good. But no, yeah, I mean, brand names, I think in our society, it's just so prevalent. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really get away from it. I know a chick, man. I was talking to her and she was telling me, like, yeah, you know, like, she had X amount of dollars in the bank, whatever. And I take her for her word. And she was like, yeah, but like, look at me. Like, I own like 4 pairs of pants. Like, I don't fucking care about any of that. I don't do that. My car is not, she had a fucking Toyota Yaris. You know what I mean? She didn't give a shit. But she was like, you know, I put my money, I'm trying to put my money into doing some things. And I thought, fuck, dude. And one of the coolest girls I know, but also she's a little bit weird. She's all in the chakras and fucking auras. And she's always like, yeah, I'm getting this real aura about you today. And I'm like, oh, yeah. But we made a deal where we have to give each other a hug every day. And it's a great vibe.
So you can feel the aura?
So she can feel my chakras or whatever. I don't know what any of this shit means, man. I just like people's vibes. And I guess it's probably all the same thing. Vibes, auras, you know, whatever the fuck you want to. I'm picking up what she's putting down. Yeah. But to answer your point, man, yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. Like, you see, like, I go to work, I'm wearing like a fucking New Era hat. I wouldn't buy a hat if it's not a New Era. I'm like, nah, I don't want it. I mean, I got a blank ass T-shirt on, so that one I don't care about, you know. But shoes is a big one for me. I can't see me going to like a Payless and picking up like some Pro Wings, dude. Can't see me. I just wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? At the same time, I'm not buying the most expensive shit, but I respect it. When I see it, I know it, and I'm like, oh man, that shit's dope. But so to answer your question, I mean, yeah, I think in a large regard, even like if we look at the whiskey we buy, man, like I'm buying things based upon kind of the name, how much. Fuck, I even hate putting it this way, but how much clout does it carry? You know what I mean? I think, man, Instagram kind of gets you people now without any real skill or real talent can get some shit going because of the clout. You know what I mean? But I don't really buy into that a whole lot. I guess like I'll give something a try, and it has to be a quality product, right? So let's say like my phone, like everyone loves iPhones. Everyone's all into iPhones. I don't have an iPhone. I don't hate them. I don't think they're the worst things in the world. It's not for me. I just don't. I'm an Angel fan because everyone's a fucking Dodger fan. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do it. I got a Mighty Ducks hat because I don't. Everyone's a Kings fan, and I go for the Kings. I'm like, yeah, let's go Kings, but you know, to stir up some trouble, you know, to stir shoot shit. So I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah, and for me, okay, well, let me ask you this: what about in your adult life? Like, what is most impressionable about you now?
Like as far as being a consumer,
as far as everything.
I'd say for me now is more of the quality of, to some extent, I guess the brand name. So like, let's say, like I'm in the market for a television now. Initially, I'm going to start with Samsung, right? Because I have a Samsung phone. I have Samsung watch, Samsung headphones, you know what I mean? So I know the product. I know usually most of their shit's compatible with each other. So I'm already like, oh, I'll be right back in the vibe with that. So less about the name, because nobody's like, oh, the TV brands. I guess Sony would probably be a cool brand. Sony used to be the shit to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw like a Sony TV. You know what I mean? Like,
do they make TVs?
Yeah, do they? I know they're making like computer. What does Sony make anymore? PlayStations? Those are fucking dope.
I don't know what
you
they
know
make.
what I mean? But outside of that, what a question. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying Sony shit. They make cameras.
They make cameras.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't own one, but I would.
Yeah.
But okay, so look, when I bought a camera, I was like, okay, what's Nikon, Canon, right? Okay, those are two big brand names. I could have probably, I don't know if there is, but if there was another like off-brand one, I wouldn't have bought it because I would have been like, am I getting an inferior product?
Or what's that one?
Well, you know, we make the joke all the time about Acer. Right, we make that joke all the time, right? Like we know
Lenovo.
Yeah, Lenovo, Acer. You know what I mean? Like we know what these motherfuckers are, and I'll buy those. I'm like, man, you know what, dude? I'm comparing shit. Like, and I'll do a little homework, and I'm like, man, it's the same fucking thing.
Same
It's like
processor,
$500 off. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this one. I don't give a fuck what you think about the name of it, dude. I need an Apple on the back of it. Fuck your Apple, dude. It's $500. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So. It's much less, and to answer your question, it's much less important to me today than it was as a kid. As a kid, it's like the fucking the thermoses basically, right? Everyone's like, oh, you gotta get this hydro flask. Yeah, and I have one. It was a gift. However, fuck if it does the same thing and it's $30 less. Yeah, I'm going there, dude. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to you. Like it's like Camry, Toyota. You can buy a Lexus. It's the same fucking car. It's the same engine. It's the same everything. Maybe you got little features inside, but it ain't too far off from what the Toyota is. Today, I'm buying a Toyota. I got 19 kids, dog. I got to feed them. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, and for me, like the reason I posed the question is because I remember being a kid, and I can't really remember being like.
Okay, hold on. So you're gonna say you can't really remember being into the brands?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, this is what happens. You make assumptions.
You know, I couldn't really remember, like until high school, because like there's a social pressure there.
Oh yeah.
But like as a kid, even up until junior high and all this, I kind of got into the mindset of like just taking what's given, like taking what's there,
like
taking what's there.
Hey, I wanted a skateboard. It's a WWF skateboard.
Right.
I'm in.
Like media and shit didn't drive like
your decisions.
Yeah, it didn't drive any of that. Like if you wanted something, like you took what you can get.
Wait, is this it?
Yeah.
If I want, so it looks like kids with this. You got Razor scooters. If I didn't get a Razor scooter, it was a laser scooter.
Yeah, it was a CVS version.
I don't give a fuck. It's the same shit, right? Mm-hmm. And none of the other kids cared. We didn't know. We weren't reading the name. That wasn't the impactful aspect of it.
It was like, can you roll?
Yeah, I'm in a squad. I got one. Let's do it.
That's it.
Until you got a little older, or someone that can identify it. And I imagine too, mainly probably parents, because the parents understand. Like I spend a lot more money on this, so you can have an R instead of an L.
Yeah.
And that probably gets. I mean, but that's so many things, though, man. It's an interesting subject there because so many things I think are given to you based on society as opposed to your own preference.
Right. And I remember being 17, 18 years old, and I remember at that point I was into bands, I was into concerts, and wanting, like, I didn't want the fake shirt, I wanted the actual shirt they were selling on tour and all that shit, and buying shit from them, like, personally. And I remember going to a concert with one of my first mentors, which was my ex's brother, and he just told me, like, he's I want to say he's like 5 years older than me or 6 years older than me, and he told me, he was like, look, at the point I'm at now, like, none of this means anything. And I didn't understand what he was saying. I was like, what do you mean? Like, this shit don't mean, like, nah, I'm gonna go buy this shit. I'm gonna buy this poster from the concert. Like, it didn't. And then it was a short period of time from like I said, from high school, there was social pressure. And then you get older, and then at a certain point, I almost run away from like the trendy shit, the cool shit, the shit that everybody is on. Like, for me, I tend to be someone who runs away from it now. And like you said, yeah, at this point, I, if I'm not mistaken, if there's anybody out there that has ever gone to school for marketing, I think that the older people are trash to marketers.
Yeah, you're not. That's not who you're looking for.
Because you're already set in the shoes. You're like, you're set. Yeah, like you're not there anymore. So you're not being geared to the. And I understand why you fall out of it. Mm-hmm. But some people, they don't fall out of it.
No.
They continue on with it.
Well, okay, but I think they get to a different level with it, right? Like, so like my cousin, right? Like my cousin's all into shoes, man. I don't think he buys them probably as much as he did at one point. However, but he'll buy them understanding the demand there.
Yeah, right? That's not a dying market at all.
Yeah, so he'll buy them and then like, hey, I got these and I'll resell them and I'll make a shit ton of money. So maybe he bought two, kept one, but made more money than he ever spent from the initial purchase anyway, right?
Right.
And so that I get. Yeah. You know,
but see, that's more of an investment.
Well, right. But I think, okay, so if you get older in it, you got to get smarter in it. It's like when I was a little younger, I remember my dad coming and telling me, like, you know, son, like, man, you got to get some comfortable shoes. And I was like, yeah, you're old, dude. Like, comfortability is not anything I give a fuck when I'm buying shoes. I didn't try them on to be like, man, can I walk all day in these? I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no, dude, I'm wearing these because they look cool. That's it. And I remember telling me, like, yeah, dude, you'll get over that shit. And I mean, I'm not at the point where I buy shoes and I'm like, man, these are super comfy, you know? But I would say, too, like Timberlands, I fucking hate wearing them, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, these shits are heavy as fuck, you know, dude. I don't want to. If I have them, I'm not really going out like doing things where I get, you know, I'm not going to like Six Flags and Timberlands.
Plus, you were a lugs guy anyway, so
I had lugs, yes.
Yeah. No, and part of the reason I bring
that
this
was
up,
branding. That was branding. I would have never bought those shits outside of that.
Part of the reason I bring this up is because you see like celebrities wearing shit that like. Let's just say you were given to you. So like my life, shit was given to me. Like, okay, this is what you're wearing. Like you're gonna wear Fila's, because you got no money. There's no money there. But what I will say is like, look at all of a sudden celebrities get a hold of shit, and all of a sudden it's cool.
Champion. Yes, thank you. That's where we're going.
Fila, champion. Yeah. Look at honestly, like it comes down to like. We take what's given, but the thing that bothers me is when someone tells me it's cool. I'm not uncool, but when the second you tell me like champion's in, it's like, no, champion. I had champion. Like that shit used to be Kmart.
Oh, you know what I mean? I was gonna say, I went to the store and I was like, let me get these champion sweatpants. I
like that you pull that up though.
And these motherfuckers were like $85, and I was like, dude, this shit used to be like $12
for the whole set.
Okay, so like I said, I've been going to the gym. You know what I mean? So the other day I was like, fuck, I don't have any shorts with me, so let me stop at. I was like, I'm just going to Walmart, pick up some shorts. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to the gym. I don't care. I'm not going here so you think I look cool. I'm going to fucking get a sick ass pump,
yoked,
bro. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know this, man, but I actually stunt double for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a lot of the time. So, you know, I got to keep up.
He has to keep it tight. He has to keep it tight.
Anyway, so I go in there, man, and I see And One in there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And One has dropped down to Walmart. And one used to be like $45-$50 for a pair of basketball shorts. And then to see him there at $9.99, I was like, fuck, I'll cop them. I'm old. This shit used to be cool. I'm fine with it. I didn't care.
But how long has it been not cool?
I don't know.
Because
I guess a long time.
In 2013, I had a pair of basketball And One shoes because it's all I could get.
What year?
I'm sorry. Did I say 2002?
I think you said 2002, yeah.
Okay, no, 2013.
I was like, no, that shit was hot fire, dude.
No,
what are you talking about?
2013, and Anthony, who's still missing, tore me up. He's like, you got And One? And One. And to be honest, the tread was gone like this. Like that shit, it came off like it was part of the packaging on the shoes. Yeah. Like it just came off like foam.
Poor quality.
It's poor quality.
So you wouldn't buy them again? Even if the name was hot, you wouldn't buy him again.
No. If a celebrity got a hold of him, it's like, And One's the shit.
Well, okay, take this for example. I think like you got Balenciaga. I imagine they make like athletic shoes, right? But I imagine you can't go out and do athletic shit in Balenciagas. They
make athletic shit as far as like influencers.
They make athletic looking shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. No one's doing that shit. Balenciagas. So what do we fucking do? But they're like, I don't even know what they cost. I'm not even gonna take a stab at it because I have no. I don't fuck. I'm looking at it for.
They're like house slippers.
Yeah. One of the most expensive house slippers I've seen.
Well, yeah. What I mean is like they're not worth it.
Man, I was gonna buy some Nike slides the other day, bro, and then like they had like the little air bubble in the back, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, fuck yeah, it'll be dope. I'm gonna get these $120, dude. And I was like, hell nah. And so there you go. So when it comes to me, you asking me how much is like a brand or something like that influence me? Not enough to buy that shit. You know what I mean? Hell no, bro. Now if I'm like, I would say this: if I'm buying whiskey and it's a quality name and it's some shit like that, yeah, I'm a little more willing, and then I'll try it. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna continue to do it if I hated it.
Okay, as a consumer, do you buy anything that is? Do you prefer to buy things that are quality over price, or do you always go price based?
I'm quality.
Okay, so
I'll spend money if I think it's a quality product.
Okay, so for instance, I went to Home Depot, okay, and I bought a garden hose, and that shit popped, but it was made in China.
Well, I mean, but
I went back and bought a Made in America one.
But see, I wouldn't. So it's a little different because you're not looking at, and I get what you're saying.
And I know I'm going like so far like Like it's not a fucking item that we fucking cherish. But I'm saying like, would you rather spend the money on some good shit that'll last?
Yeah.
And we don't put that into necessarily, because think about it. Someone buys an expensive pair of shoes, you fuck them up, they're done. Like they're done. Like as far as like the pristine aspect.
Well, I mean, okay, but also like if I know shoes are gonna just fall apart, I'm not gonna buy them. Even if it's a great deal, $10. What the fuck's the point if I have to buy them once a week? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but like fucking like any.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I'd say like, let's say like the Acer computer, right? We were talking about computers, but if I knew like, hey, they have a real problem with crashing and then it's done, maybe you get like 6 months out of it and it's done. But you could buy this Dell and that should last you 4 years and it's still up to date. You know, you can update it and do all that stuff. Then yeah, I'm gonna buy the Dell. You know what I mean? The value, it makes more sense fiscally to buy the one that costs more up front because it lasts longer. Same as I'm saying about the Toyota.
We're jumping all over the place now.
Yeah,
we're like shoes and then garden hose and then computers.
I mean, because I think it's all relevant, right? But you know what? Why don't you guys go ahead and let us know? Let us know something that you purchased and you thought like I'm getting a deal and it's just shit. I'll give you an experience of mine. Way back in the day, I bought a TV. But a Vizio TV, and I was like, "Oh shit, look at this, man! I'm getting a deal on this shit." All right, and I get home, and you know, it was like a smart TV, so I'm like, "Okay, cool, man! I got a smart TV. I'm gonna hit up the Netflix. I'm trying to get on like the smart TV features, and none of them work. Not one of them. Not Hulu, not Netflix, none of this shit." And I'm like, "Hey, man, wait a minute. You know what the fuck's up?" I started doing some reviews, trying to like look into it. Everybody on the reviews is like, can't get on smart things, can't get none of that, no Netflix, none of this, no YouTube. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I bought the one TV that wouldn't have. I would have spent another $50 to get that all, you know what I mean? It would have worked out and been fine. Because ultimately, I mean, I was fortunate. I have fucking PlayStation, man. I like to play games and shit. So I had that. So I just substituted that in as my means of how I'm going to run it. But if I didn't, I'd have to buy something else now that probably would have cost more than an extra $100 just to be able to do so. So to me, yeah, I mean, I think it's always, you got to evaluate each situation. Each situation is its own, and you got to really manage it as such.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I am somebody who, I don't know if it's like age-wise, but like I want shit that's going to last.
Yeah.
And I typically start making decisions based off that. And I'll pay money for quality. And it's funny because I never really saw myself that way in the first place, because I never really gone that route. But guys, we are going to get into a new segment, and this will come up every once in a while. But I will tell you this: this is gonna be a real directed towards one of us. So we're gonna get into some shit with Ken, and I want you guys to understand. Like, this is gonna be a segment. It's not gonna be every episode, so don't get too greedy. But we are gonna get into something that brings us closer to who we are as people,
right?
And who we are. Like, we're men of means, but
well, how do we get there?
But how do we get there? And who are we?
Yeah,
right. Who are we?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I sprung this on Ken, and I want to know. I got a couple questions for Ken specifically.
So this segment is gonna be called "Ask Me a Question."
It's gonna be called "Ask Me a Question."
No, I don't. It might change. We might change.
It'll probably change. But we are gonna get into this because we got feedback, and we want you guys to get to know us a little better. And I have a few questions. I'm gonna rattle off to Ken, and he's gonna tell me what his piece on it.
Yep.
So one of the first ones that I have for Ken is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay. Man, dude.
Completely.
Well, first off, let me just say this, man. I like the fact that it's just kind of a question being sprung on you. You know, you don't really have I'm literally over here trying to buy time to kind of formulate a thought on this shit. So fuck it. I'm going to stop doing that and just answer the question, man. Realistically, man, I see myself in a different position as far as work-wise goes and my career goes. I'm always on a quest to grow. You know what I mean? That's all I think every day as far as that goes is. So I'd see myself, ideally, I would have gotten hopefully at least 2 more promotions in 5 years. So making a little better money, hopefully a homeowner by that point. But, who knows what that turns into.
What do you mean, hopefully?
I mean, hopefully a homeowner.
I'm asking you in 5 years where you gonna be.
Well, okay, I'm telling you, like I'd like to be a homeowner.
Okay, that's the goal then.
Yeah, so that's one of the goals. Currently not, but I mean, it's definitely manageable. I'm not now. I fuck around a lot and like to do stupid shit. But so that definitely would be that. You know, man, and so it's interesting too, because I mean, even hearing that, so most of the people, I mean, fuck, I'm 33 now. Most of the people I know got kids. And I was thinking about it. It's weird, oddly enough, driving here, like, man, you know, like I've been up and down with even wanting to have a kid, but I think I'd like to have a kid. You know what I mean? So in 5 years, I think that's a reasonable amount of time. I'd like to be with someone that I think is worth that. But that aspect of it, I don't fucking. It is what it is. Give or take, or have or not. I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think I'd like, you know, in a broader aspect, in a bigger picture, I'd like to be more comfortable in life, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by that is just kind of like, I'd like to be a little more secure in what I'm doing, have some maybe, so I have my job, my career, what I'm doing, but maybe like a second source of income, feel a little more secure I don't know, maybe secure is not the right word, but a little more stable, but not only in like a career wise, financial wise, but like in my social circle wise. You know what I mean? Like I think if you would have took me 5 years previous to today, I think, you know, I was kind of all over the place, hanging out with a bunch of people, just whatever the fuck, and I still do, but I understand what it is now, as opposed to thinking like, oh man, these are my boys. You know what I mean? Like I understand what. So let's, like, I'll use James as an example. Like I understand, like, hey man, he has to do the shit he has to do, and it doesn't mean like we're not boys if we don't kick it every day. It just means he has shit he has to do. He's being responsible. I fucking applaud that, and if anything, I think I'd like myself to get more to that aspect in 5 years, where I'm more of the person like, oh yeah, it's cool, man, I'll get with you when I can, but a little more structure in my world. You know what I mean? Things like that. I'd like to be in a little better shape, I guess, as that's kind of the goal now. That's something directly where I'm going at. I'd like to have like 5 million hats. I recently just started loving buying hats. I love hats. I can't get enough of them.
You're going to become the hat guy.
Maybe. You know, maybe you want to borrow one, let me know. You know what I mean? I'd like to see this grow. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would be something that I would feel like started from the fucking bottom and now we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just a little piece on that real quick. I don't care how many people we got going and listening and whatever. This is gonna keep rolling. So
yeah.
You're gonna deal with like fucking episode 300. Like it don't matter. Like we're gonna keep it rolling.
And episode 300 will be epic because one of my favorite movies ever was 300.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna kick the fucking garage door down. Hey, dude. No, but you know, but even just get into that. Like it's like my boys today were hitting me up. Hey, come, let's go out. We're going out. I'm like, nah, dude. I got a podcast. And like it's easy. Like, you know me, man. Like I'm very much like, oh fuck, like if we're going out, like I want to go. But no, like it's easy, and I'm like, nah, man, like I'm good. And they're like, oh, but you got time, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, but like, nah, fuck off, man. Like I'm gonna get over there. We're gonna get in the zone, get the fucking creative thoughts going, and that's the process. You know what I mean? And I want to answer the question. I want to be doing things that like I built. We were talking before we started this about like people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates.
Ambition.
And I thought like very ambitious, but people that stuck with shit when it wasn't jumping as maybe everyone around them thought of. And they had other options that might have been more lucrative at the time, but ultimately would have never been lucrative like they are today. And I think, and even like the Willie episode and just saying like, you got to fucking go for something and stick with it, you know? Seeing that and those things, that's more where I want to get. And that's where my mind would be, the things that I'm attracted towards in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So hopefully that answers the question.
Oh yeah, that definitely does. And guys, when we do this segment, we're gonna have fan submitted questions.
Well, hold on, and because one more thing, I have this huge goal of mine, and you know this, James, very well. I want to write a fucking screenplay. Okay, like I really want to write, and maybe it doesn't. I don't need it to do shit. I just need to fucking write it. You know what I mean? And so if I was gonna set a goal for myself in a 5-year span, it would be to have completed a screenplay.
There you go. That's a great goal to have.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
A slapstick screenplay.
yeah. So again, when we do this segment, it's going to be like people we know submitting questions for Ken. So one of the questions I have, since he's in the hot seat right here, how many times per week do you masturbate? That's a fan submitted question.
It's probably a better daily count. It's more accurate. I'm just kidding. No, interesting question.
Just shoot it off, because we got more questions.
Well, no, I'll be honest with you, man. It varies. You know what I mean? It varies on the kind of week I'm having.
What do you do? What do you do? Average it?
We could take an average. You want to do an average? Average, that's probably about maybe 4.
About 7?
No, average is maybe 4. And then now there's peaks in there. There's peaks where I'm like, oh my god, it's just, what the fuck is going on? It's 4 in a fucking day. No, I'm saying, but no, I'd say 4 probably a week. Which is, I don't know, man. Some of you guys, let me know what you think about that. Hey guys, let me know. Is that a lot? Is that not enough? You know what I mean? Where are you at?
Yeah, and just so you guys know, this segment we're doing now, shoot. These are the comments, these are the DMs. These are the kinds of things we want you guys reach out. You got a question you want to hit Ken, you want to hit me with questions that put me in the hot seat. Shoot them out there. Yeah, this is the really. We went from what do you see yourself in 5 years to how many times a week do you masturbate? I feel like 4
is very conservative too. Like I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, I think it's conservative in a week in 7 days.
In 7 days, 4 is conservative.
4. And that's, like I said, it's an average. So there's highers and there's lowers. You know what I mean? Like, but I think as an average, 4 is. I think that's a respectable. You know what my boy would tell me? Those are fucking rookie numbers. But you know what, man? No, yeah. Whatever, man. Fuck you guys if you want to talk shit.
Yeah, and if you guys read our descriptions on our like podcast descriptions, we have Menamene's average ratings. Right now, we're gonna get average masturbation
a week
for Ken. We're gonna put that up there.
Man, I'm just coming in at a 4.
Average 4 for
and
Ken.
That's usually just to get the guns pumped up. You know what I mean?
And keep the testosterone flowing.
Yeah, dude, you got to get that going.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're on to the next question. Okay. Now this one's a little more serious.
Hey man, my fucking family listens to this.
That's why it's the hot seat.
Hey guys, my bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is life.
This is the hot seat. This is the segment. This is the segment. It's the hot seat. So now we're gonna.
I can just picture them fucking listening like, oh my, what the fuck is this?
You're like, that's conservative.
I'm like, guys, that was bullshit. Okay, yeah. I'm this 32 maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, we're gonna go to a more serious question now. That was just the order of shit.
Switch it up. Yep.
Switch it up a little bit. So now the next question is, how do you keep relationships and how do you tend to them over a long period of time that are important to you?
Okay, relationships is in
everything, friendships, family, okay. So everything. How do you take care of those?
I want to break those into categories then. Okay, I want to say like intimate relationships and then like friendly relationships, and then we'll do family as well. Family, I think, is the easiest one, right? Like I think I've mentioned on here before. Like I could fight with my sister, I could fight with my dad, and that'll be that. But we're fucking family, man. That's the way I was raised. It's my fucking family, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm with you. I'll ride with you. We could literally 20 minutes before. It's got the most heated conversation in the world, but some shit happened, I'm right there with you. I don't give a fuck about it. You know what I mean? Nah, you ain't coming in that world. Yeah, so that's that. That one's easy. That one to me, it takes no real effort. I mean, it takes all the effort. It's the most effort, but it's defined that that's what's going to happen. You know, like I can never see me turning my back on my family in that regard. Period. Point blank. It just never would happen. You know what I mean? And that's extended family and family all around. And a lot of like, even like my boy Andrew and his sister Vanessa and all of them, to me, man, that's my family too. And I look at them the same. Like I just couldn't see me just not riding with them if they never needed me, whatever they can do. Even when they yell at me because I poked a hole in their canopy because they were asking me to put some lights up, you know, and it was just sitting out in the sun for way too long. It's brittle. It's not my fault, but, you know, they're mad at me about it. No, they're cool. They understood. No, but so that's that one. Family's the easy one. Friends, if I'm your real friend, man, and we're actually friends, because I think, man, you know, you got a lot of people that, like, friends, the word friend gets thrown around so fucking easily, I think. And so to me, And I'd say like this, man. It's like one night, and me and Anthony have gotten into it many times. I'll use Anthony as an example. I consider Anthony my friend, and I think it's a great example. But we could get into shit, and the next day, we are both like, "Hey, dude, like, yeah, we good?" Like, no, man. And I think the difference between family and a friend as I think family, I don't have to ever fucking have that conversation. At least in my family, I don't have to have the conversation. Like we can, it's just like fuck it, we're gonna let it ride.
You move on,
right? Whereas I think a friend, I think a conversation is probably needed because this, I can just be like, I'll never talk to you again. Well, I'll never see you again. Anthony, we worked together, so that wouldn't happen anyway. But I mean, me and Anthony went like a solid year or so without we didn't fucking say shit to each other. I think we grew past that, and I'm impressed with how we are with each other now, where we can have some shit. And immediately we're both like, hey, look, dude, not like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, that was just in the moment. I fuck it. I fuck with you.
You guys had the discussion.
We're both like apologizing. And I'm like, no, it was my fault. No, it was mine. And I'm like, nah. So I fuck with him tough for that and things like that. You know, it's funny too, man. Willie. So Willie was on here. You guys remember Whoop Ass Willie? But way back in the day, man, I didn't get into Willie so much, and I won't get into great detail about it because I don't think it's relevant. But just to say we had a falling out, man, and I remember one time I was walking around my neighborhood. He lived around the corner, and he drives by me in his car, comes back, backs up, reverses all the way back down the street, comes up to me, stops, and I sat there and talked to Willie for fucking maybe 4 hours, man. Me and him just talked for 4 hours, and to me. Again, I think I said when he was here, but man, I have so much respect for that dude for doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I was a fucking, my head was big, and I'm like, fuck that, I don't give a shit. But that man stopped, and just came back, and we talked, and since then, man, I've rode with that dude every day of the week. You know what I mean? Like to me, that meant something. That I remember as a kid, my dad would always tell me. You know, you think all these dudes you kick it with now, you think they're your friends? And he'd ask me about that, about Willie, you know, like directly. And I'd always be like, yeah, I do. And it's funny to me, like, it's funny to me, but like, yeah, me and Willie make jokes every time. He cuts my hair, so I see him all the time. But, and you know, man, he was supposed to cut my hair on Saturday, and I was way too trash the day before, and I didn't make it. You know what I mean? I've been avoiding him since because I feel like a dick about it. But, you know, man, but sincerely though, it's just Willie. You know, man, Willie was like the jokester, the motherfucking running around doing all this. But like, yeah, man, no, like I that's my boy, and we joke all the time. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't even have any fucking friends. I'm like, yeah, me either, dude. I don't have any fucking friends, you know. But like, Willie is my friend in my eyes, and you know, I don't think I'll regret saying that. I consider Willie a friend of mine. So things like that. And then I have other people that I was like, Andrew is one of my great fucking, that's my brother, man. And I tell him all the time, and he knows. His mom even calls me her son. When we go out, she's like, this is my son, you know what I mean? And people look at her like, that's not your fucking son. He's taller than every goddamn body here, and he's black. What the fuck you talking about? But so that's that friendship wise, man. And I've had friends that I thought were like my best friends, and these people have said and done some shit to me where I mean, like I you know, I didn't lose my shit, but I'm just like, man, I can't fuck with you, dude. Like, I wouldn't say that's someone I don't like. You know what I mean? You thought it was okay to say that to me. Fuck you. So I don't fuck with them. There's one thing about being real, and I'm okay with being real, but there's another thing to say some shit that's just totally out of fucking line. You know what I mean? And so I don't fuck with them for that. So it's the friendship wise, and then relationship wise. I mean, all my relationships have failed, so I don't know if I'm the best person to say that, but I think I've had some extended relationships that lasted a while, and I'd say, man, I think that's just a constant communication effort, constant. You know, you got to really see things from somebody else's point of view. I think you really got to walk in their shoes a little bit and understand where they're coming from and why they're saying what they're saying. And even then, I think that gets difficult. Because you could never truly walk in someone's shoes because you're not that individual. You'll never have the same life experiences. But I think it does take you have to have the want to do so. You have to want to see things from their perspective, and then you have to be willing to hearing what they're saying, and then open to maybe hearing that feedback, and then looking at yourself and thinking, hey, can I do that, or is this against who I am? You know, and if it's against who you are, then don't do it. But if it's not, then shut the fuck up, stop being like an asshole, and just fucking probably do it and be cool and let it ride. And so that's that. I guess those are my answers on that, man. That's how I sustain relationships.
Well, to dive into that question a little bit more, how do you manage that on a weekly basis? Like, how do you break that down? Because it's like you got family, you got friends, you got relationships, whatever it is. How do you personally break that down in a week? Because I know my week.
Yeah, your week is structured.
My
Mine's
my week
not.
my week is real fucking tight.
So I got people I hang out with on a regular basis, right? One of which was on the show. John. John was on the show, man. I hang out with him all the fucking time. Like I get drunk and just call him like I'm fucking drunk. You know what I mean? So I have that. But then you're also my friend. And let's say I didn't work at where we work at tomorrow. I wouldn't talk to you until we were here. I'm pretty sure. Unless I had something, I might text you or something like that. But we've never been to people like I'm not just calling you out of the middle of the fucking blue. But that's our relationship.
Right.
Right. So I imagine relationships, in my perspective, in my life, are very individual and very unique as a whole.
So let's look at your week real quick on a 7-day span. So Thursdays is podcast day.
That's fucking podcast day.
So how do you break the week up from there? Where's family fit in? Where's relationships
So
fit in?
okay, yeah, it's interesting. So and I'll be honest, man, I don't spend a whole hell of a lot of time with my family. At one point, in the beginning of the whole COVID thing, man, I was going to my sister's house every Friday for game night, which was actually one of the coolest things I've ever done. It's just unfortunate it happened to be on a Friday. You know what I mean? And I keep telling her that, like, switch this shit to another day. Because I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was good to be around them. And I mean, you know, she has a fiance, and her niece, her daughter, my niece. It was always a good vibe being around them. It was real positive, man. I liked that setup, but there's no structure as a formal structure to hanging out with my family. I text my dad a lot. I mean, not a lot. I bullshit. I said a lot. I text so many people so much more often. But I do text them periodically and just be like, hey, man, how you guys doing? You know, what's going on? Especially during football season, we'll text a little more often because he's talking. Von Miller, man, my boy Von Miller's out for the season, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
he's out,
we didn't
he's
even
out,
fucking
he's
have
out.
one game, dog. But he texted me that shit the other day. And so we'll talk a lot about sports and stuff like that. And I'll pop into his house, but it's definitely not structured. And like it's like my cousin, like on Instagram, like he'll send me videos. He sends me, you follow him too.
Yeah.
He sends some wild shit, dude. I love the shit he sends me. That's always cool, but it's never like a formal structure.
Right.
So family wise, not so much. Friend wise, it varies. Like I said, like imagine if me and you didn't work together. I see you Monday through Thursday, then not again until Monday, right? We don't talk during that, but I don't feel the need. I don't think that's the relationship that we have.
Right.
I think we know that we're fine. I have other friends that I don't like. My boy Ernie, I talk to him here and there when I talk to him, and then we talk. You know, and it's all good. There's no like, oh, I haven't heard from you in 2 goddamn days. Where you been? Nah, it's who fucking cares, right? We're grown ass men. But then I have other friends that like I see every day because I work with them, and which is I feel fortunate because I've always had jobs where I fucking hated working with the people I worked with. This job, I actually really enjoy a lot of the people. Pretty much damn near everyone that you've seen on here outside of Kimber, Willie, Crystal. I think that's the only ones that they've seen on here that we didn't work with.
Yeah.
Right? And so that should tell you a lot. I enjoy the relationships with them. Immensely, to be honest. So I might see them throughout the weekend. I might not. Depends on what we're all doing. But again, no one's mad. But then I got like Andrew. Andrew's one of my, like I said, this is my fucking brother, man. And the people that went to high school with me, I'm talking about Cobra. You might know him as Cobra. You know, talking about that dude. I don't have to talk to him every day. We've gone long periods without talking, but there was never. Like when we did talk, it was just a good time. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm at a party. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the way. You know what I mean? It's just all good. And relationship wise, for me, dude, the times when I didn't talk to someone daily, that they were like pissed. And so to me, that's. And I guess if I wasn't talking to you every day, I was probably already turned off from the situation anyway. You know. And I won't get too deep into that because I think people will get upset, and I don't mean to upset anyone. I'm just being honest about it and what I think. But I don't like feeling obligated to have to talk to anyone every day. You know, like Like I said, my family, I don't feel obligated to. So if I'm dating you fuck off. Who are you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but I've known them my entire life. And if I don't have to do that, and I know we're okay, and I get it's different. I understand that. That's just how my mind works. You know what I mean? And anyway, once people start getting mad and bitching at me about something, I'm just already turned off, and like, very few people can impact me in a way where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And it has happened. And when it happened, I kind of looked at it, and even if it was after the fact, I think recently I've had someone kind of say something to me, and after the fact, I was like, yeah, they were probably fucking right in what they said, and they were, but it was too far gone. You know what I mean? It's all right. So I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that does. And we'll go to the last question that I have here on the paper. What are you gonna do this week that pushes you outside of your boundaries?
Gym.
And
gym.
And we will get an update next week.
Yeah, I've you know, man, and this is what I mean about my friends. So I have a friend, man, and one day, I don't remember what I did even. Fuck if I know. I was like, yeah, I can't go to the gym today. And he was like, look, until October 16th, for a reason I'm not going to get into, but just October 16th, he was like, you get 2 days off. You're using the day off today. I said, all right, see, I like that. Give me a little room. Don't box me in. You know what I mean? But also make me fucking be dedicated. And then I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go. And that's where I'm at with it. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I tried to go skydiving, couldn't go. All right, fuck it. I got another shot at it. All right, I'm damn sure not gonna miss it. I'm gonna knock that out. But yeah, well, say the question one more time.
What are you gonna do this week that pushes you outside your boundaries?
That's why I want to know the time frame. I totally forgot what he asked, but we'll play it cool. So I would say that, man. I think me going to the gym, and as James knows, man, has been something like I'll do it for like a week, and then I'm like, man, I'm good on this shit. I'll just stop eating so much, you know, and I will in a large aspect. But so that outside of like right now, and to be fair, yesterday I cut back on drinking beer in a large way, and drinking altogether. Not that I'm against it or anything, because I clearly am not, but just, you know, I got a goal to reach, so I want to get that. You know, man, I was talking to somebody that I know, and I'll just put it like this. I was dating at one point, and I was talking to her today, and I wanted to tell her, like, you know, like we've all moved on in our world, so there's, you know, that aspect's all good, but I wanted to tell her, like, man, I have so much fucking respect for you, and I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I guess maybe that's something I'll push myself to do too. Like, I just want her to understand, like, nah, man, you know, I mentioned earlier, like, this wasn't on air, but I mentioned to you, James, earlier, like, you know, I just had so much respect in the fact that, like, you know, we did our thing or whatever, we kicked it, didn't really work out, but you never really, you didn't cut me off, you weren't like, fuck you, I hate you, no, you were very adult about it, and we both were, and I think we still have a relationship today because of that, and so I think I will make the move, that one, and then
You'll make what move?
The move just to let her know that I fucking have an immense amount of respect for her.
Okay, so you'll communicate that to her.
Yeah, I'll communicate that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing for the week.
Yeah, for the week. Yeah,
for the week.
Yeah, for the week.
Yeah, it's small goals. It's small goals.
Yeah. I have another one, but it wouldn't be in the week.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna get no. I'm just telling you, no. You know what it is, right? I'm gonna fuck off, dude. All right, I'm not.
I mean, that might be a long-term goal.
And maybe one day we'll talk about it after everything's said and fucking. If it goes sour, I'll talk about it early.
We'll see how the dust settles on that one.
Yeah, well, the fucking ash settles.
How the ash settles.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, but yeah. So again, this segment is, look, guys. We want engagement. Shoot the questions.
Hey, guys,
shoot the questions.
I want to ask James questions. I got a bunch.
So throw them out there, and we'll get to them.
Yeah,
we'll get to them. Throw them out there, and
yeah. Let me know what you want to know. You know what, man? Like, I've had a couple of people write some shit to me, kind of. And for lack of a better way of putting it, criticizing some shit that we've said or the way that I've approached something that they hit me up and then they criticized the way that I approached it. And I think, well, hey, hell, here's a great opportunity for you to pose a question to me. Post that shit on there. Man, I ain't running away from shit. If it's towards me, if it's towards James even, you can probably ask James a question.
Yeah, no.
Ideally, let's ask James some questions.
No, that's the goal, is that they send in questions for all of us. So when this segment comes around, it's not just Ken. It's everybody is in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And you got to answer straight out, like it's just what it is. It's
I just told you guys my average masturbation rate,
and that was his conservative average.
No, that was my liberal average. All right, conservatively, I would have said 1 a year.
I think conservative was 4. That's what I'm thinking. I think conservative is 4.
My boys out there know that. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. But, I'm not. We're not going to discuss. That's disgusting, dude. You know what? Next time we have just wait and see. I got some shit coming. All right?
Yeah, he's got some good shit coming. But yeah, no. So just make sure you guys are interacting with us. And this has been very insightful into who you are.
All right, that's a little bit. I think we could get a lot deeper. I'm open to it too, man. Of course. And you know me, James. You know me very well. I don't mind answering questions. And especially now, if everybody that was going to listen to it was sitting here, I'd be like, man, wow, I don't know. But right now it feels like it's just us talking, which I'm probably going to regret this shit later. I don't want to go to work and like, 4, huh? 4, huh? Really?
Just 4?
4? I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah. I know you do more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, but fuck it.
No, it's been a good segment, in my opinion.
My sister listens to this shit, dude. God
yeah,
damn it.
Yeah, but listen.
My God.
When she's listening, she's not listening.
Yeah, she's gonna hear that and be like, "What the fuck, dude? My aunt? Oh my God. Oh my God. What have I done?"
Well, once I ask the question, they're gonna tune out.
Yeah, fast forward. Okay.
Fast forward. He talked about it for like 10 minutes.
We should put a disclaimer, like, "Hey, you gotta skip through if you don't want to hear this shit."
In the description, I'll put the fucking time you gotta fast forward to.
I'm going to put it. I'm gonna text them all like, "Hey guys, they were asking me how long we communicate, when we communicate, so I'm communicating. What's up? But if you listen to this one, you're just going to skip that shit." Yeah. Wow. They knew too much.
They know too much.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. I found out, man, my stepbrother told me when we were kids that I heated up a knife on the stove. And then I burned him with it. And I was like, what kind of fucking devil am I? I think he's lying. I don't remember it that way. He used to throw knives at me.
Well, I'd imagine that you would retaliate.
Yeah, okay, and I'm going to be honest with you, because to me, the way, like, I asked him, like, well, what happened? And he was like, yeah, you were like, tell me if this hurts. And then he sat there and let me fucking do it. That's your fault, dude. Well, that is your fault.
Well, he was into it.
He liked being big. Maybe
he was into
maybe
it.
It's more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but all I'm saying is, hey, dude, my other boy, I won't say his name, but he knows who he is. He took salt and ice. I don't know if you know this, but if you put salt on someone and you put ice on top of it, it burns the shit out of you. It'll like corrode your skin. He did it to his brother, and he had this giant fucking gaping hole in his hand. Yeah, and he did that. And I remember we were all sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. But it was like, this is who we were. I don't think we were bad people. This is someone we all know and love. But we just needed to know. We were just trying to. It was a science experiment, dude. It was a project. I had a hypothesis, and you know what I mean. I had to follow the whole scientific procedure.
It was science.
Yeah, that's all it was.
It was science.
Just trying to figure some shit out. You know what I mean? That's it.
Okay, and so we're gonna get into our truth now. We're gonna wrap this up.
Can you start it? Because I forgot we do that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into our truth, and I will just say that for me, this has been one of the most important truths I've ever done. And I will say that it's specifically regarding my grandfather. My grandfather, my Nina texted me and said, hey, he can't feel his legs. His hands are numb, this and that. He can't walk. My grandpa's 80. My grandpa has been my dad since I was 11 years old. He's been my dad. And I will just say this. Number one, in these times that we're in now, we think of symptoms, and we think that how what does this mean, right? We hear symptoms, right? Okay, what is this? What does this mean? And it turns out he had nerve damage. He's got some nerves going on that's not allowing him to walk. He can't walk. He's had diabetes. He's already had issues with his legs. And I just want to say this. And the question that came to Ken about the relationships and how do you dictate your time and all that, it was specifically my question. And it was related to how I am with my family. And I will just say this 100%. I'm not somebody who runs away from who I am. I'm not somebody who can't acknowledge my downfalls, my inadequacies. I do not in any way, shape, or form come close to the support for my family that I should, specifically my grandparents. My daughter took the front seat a long time ago. 7 years ago, my daughter took the front seat, and she dictates a lot of my life to this day. And I will say that my grandpa going through all this shit, that shit kills me. And I will say that my truth is this. My truth is this. I want to talk specifically to my grandpa right now. I want you to know that I love you, and you've made an impact on my life in ways that I can't describe. Ways that even after you're gone will supersede anything that it is what it was. I spent times with him, and as a kid, I remember him telling me from a young age. My dad was killed when I was young, and my grandpa came to me as a kid and said, "Hey, nothing will ever happen to you. I got you." And as a kid, you don't know, you're blown away by it. But I want my grandpa to know that I wouldn't even be close to the man I am today if it wasn't for you. If it wasn't for you telling me those things and showing me daily what it means to be that, I wouldn't know. So when it comes down to this, like, it's not, nerve damage, not the end of the world. But when you're 80 something years old and you can't walk and you can't do what you got to do, I will just say this. I want to go on the air and you, like I asked Ken earlier, what are you going to do something that pushes you this week? My goal switched. Boom. The switch in my head goes, I got to be there more. Because I've been shit at it. I'll be 100% honest. I've been shit at being there. And I will promise that I will be there. Not just because it's my duty as somebody who is you taking care of my whole life, but I will be there because it's where I want to be. I want you to know that I love you. And as somebody who I look up to in the highest regard, and I know, Grandpa, you're listening right now, and I'm because you know why? You know why my grandpa's listening? Because I'm gonna force him to listen to this fucking truth. I want you to know that I put you above God, and I say that because you're religious, not me. You're religious, but for me, you were everything. After you, there's nothing. After you, there's just me. And I want you to know that when it comes down to it, I'm there. You have never done anything that makes me not want to be there. So I just want to say, I hope that you recover. I hope that it's a speedy recovery. I hope that you can work. I hope that you can stand. I hope that you can do what you want to do. But most importantly, I hope that you know that the men that you raised around you, I want to give a huge shout out to my cousin Dominic. I want to give a huge shout out to my cousin Anthony. I want to give a huge shout out to my brother, that they're better men than me, but you raised all of us. And I promise you that I will be a better man, and I will do that. And I just want you to know I love you, and I hope you got a speedy recovery, and I hope that you can do what you want to do in life, but just know that you're loved the same way that I knew I was loved in life. So, Grandpa, I love you to death, and those words don't even fucking come close to how I feel about you. And Grandma, I know you're dealing with a lot of shit right now, and it's a beautiful thing to have a family like that. So I just want to give a huge shout out to my family, my cousins, my brother, my Nina, everybody who's doing their thing for my grandpa, it's a family affair. It comes down to that. So I just want you guys to know I love you guys, and that's been weighing heavy on my heart. So that's where my truth comes from, and I just want to say I love you guys.
Yeah, man, that was absolutely beautiful, my man. And I love your grandpa too now, dude. Like, goddamn, and a better man than you is hard to fucking find. And so if you classify him as such, I absolutely think they are deserving of the title. And so, well, it's hard to follow that shit. So I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. And my truth is gonna be simple, and it's gonna kind of a cop out. And I don't give a fuck, man. After that one, my truth is simply, man. I fucking love what you just said. That was one of the most got me to look at what the fuck I just said and think like, God damn. And I think next week I'll have a truth that'll reflect on this. I had a lot of thoughts hearing it. I don't think now's the time. I think now, man, let's let that be where we are. That was fucking absolutely amazing. James' grandfather, you played a hand in this man. This man has been one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. And just fucking dedicated. You know what I mean? I tell him every time I see him, and I've said it here many times. This guy, if he puts his mind to anything, he could. If this man wanted to take over the fucking world tomorrow, he could, and he would. And no part of me has any dispute towards that. And if you played a role in that, man, then you are one hell of a goddamn man in my views. So, shout outs to you. And let's just drop it there. You know, well done.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go and subscribe. It sucks to say.
No,
make sure you guys go subscribe. Follow the Instagram. Again, don't just reach out on YouTube. Go to the Instagram. Follow there. Leave messages, comments, reviews. Everything helps us. And again, we are on episode 24 today.
Hey, Kobe.
We're on episode 24 today. So make sure I just want to say thank you guys. Like, me and Ken are dedicated. Like, we really
missed 1 week.
We did it. Yeah, but we did.
We had a reason.
Yeah, well, we dedicate every week to this. Make sure you guys are giving us a little bit of love. Like, we're not asking for the world, but give us a little bit of love.
Fuck that. No, I want the world. All right, look, James. You're a fucking sweetheart, and you're a great guy. I'm a piece of shit, so let me tell you. No, I want you to subscribe on every platform and every forum. I want you downloading the fucking podcast. I want it all. And I honestly don't see why you wouldn't. We're amazing. Okay, we're here pouring our hearts out.
We're great.
Giving you everything we got. I'm telling you my masturbation rates for the week. James is pouring his heart out. You know what I mean? I think, man, a lot of fucking effort goes into it. So, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? Click a fucking button?
Show us some love.
It. Okay? Push that button, goddammit.
That's it.
All right. And with that said, man, here's another episode in the books. And, okay, bye.